personal privilege, if I could. I have been quoted as saying that the regulators would, well, I have been quoted by members in the press as saying that the regulators were there to serve the banks. What I said, in fact, was that I viewed the regulators as public servants. And the question was asked, did that include the banks? And I said yes. I went on to say, not later, but at the same time, and quoted in the article that draws that part out, that's been drawn from, that they were to enforce the rules. And I'm actually going to introduce into the record.
Gentleman, I had read that quote somewhat differently than you said it, but if the gentleman will produce the quote to me, I'll be glad to read it.
And I'm actually going to, hopefully before, and I'd like to clear that up, because I do believe that members genuinely believe that was the quote in its entirety, which was the statement was that they were public servants, and that I viewed that they should look on themselves as public servants, not only to the people but to the banks. But I also went on, and there were two other sentences there that they, and I know it's been widely quoted, and it's hard one time something gets out on the internet to clarify, but I'm going to actually read into the statement.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman. If you yield, I had not heard previously heard that explanation. I'll be glad to read it, and if you didn't use those words, I'll be glad to acknowledge that.
And it and the two things on the internet, and I'm sure all our members have suffered from this, that I said there were 19 socialists in Congress, was absolutely not said. That someone at a meeting said, are there any socialists in Congress? And I said, I'm sure there are that profess the European view of socialism. And they said, how many? And I said, I don't know. They said 100, and I said, no, not. And then I was asked, well, how many? And I actually said, I didn't know. I had no idea. The only one I knew was Barney Sanders. But, in today's attempts really to make us all look like fools sometimes, that sort of thing is said. And it's very disappointing, because there have been things that where I've misspoken, but those two things have been a source of, they just seem to have a life of their own. But in fact, I specifically said I had no idea. And I had that in a recording. Because that was a speech that was recorded, and they later retracted that, but it never got out. Mr. Hensley?